All right, algebra. What this video is going to be about is just how to learn a new tool called Desmos. So what you want to do is go to desmos.com, and this is the screen that's going to pop up. This may be something you want to bookmark, as we're going to use it quite a bit this unit, and then you can go ahead and click on the graphing calculator. It might say Launch Calculator. And what Desmos does is it's an online graphing program, so you can get it to graph whatever you want. And as you can see right there, I just accidentally zoomed in. So here's your zoom out and zoom in, depending on what you want to do. You can click and move it around if you need to do that. Over here is where you can type in what you want it to graph. So for example, if I wanted to graph this line, there it went ahead and graphed it. Okay. Now the nice thing about this is I can click on certain points and it'll give me that coordinate point. So this way I know the y-intercept is -1. My x-intercept is 1/2. So it's giving me those coordinate points. If you really don't like the color, you can actually change that. Now if I want to graph another line, so y equals, if I want to do a fraction, down here is where you're going to be able to do other things. So if I wanted to graph a fraction, I could do 1/2. Now you want to make sure you click your over button and put that x there, because if you don't, if that x stays on the bottom, you can see that's going to give you a curve, and that's a much different graph. So you do want to make sure you click off to the side 1/2 x plus 2. Okay, so now it graphed at a different color because I have two different graphs. And one of the things you're going to be doing this unit is graphing lines and finding their intersection point. And right there, Desmos gives it to us. These two lines are intersecting at the point 2, 3. Again, we can get y-intercepts and x-intercepts and all that good stuff that we need. The nice thing about Desmos is your lines do not have to be in slope-intercept form. I can put it in standard form. So 2x plus 5y equals 10. I don't have to worry about changing that to slope-intercept form. I can just type it right in and it'll still graph the line for me. And again, I have my x-intercept, my y-intercept, all that good stuff. And so x plus y equals 2. And there you go. There's our intersection point. All that good stuff. So that is definitely one of the huge advantages, is not having to have it in slope-intercept form. In fact, you can type it in point-slope form if you want. Okay, and it'll give you that line. So you can go ahead and type that into slope-intercept form as well. So kind of some advantage, or point-slope form. So kind of some advantages to using Desmos. Now, this keypad down here, so if I need to type squared, I can do that. So if I want y equals x squared, I can click right here and get that squared. If I don't want to do squared, if I want to do a different exponent, so x, and then I can click here so that I can type in a 3. So there's y equals x to the 3rd. I can do the square root. Here's my pi. We're going to do inequalities later this unit, and so those are right there. If you need parentheses, here's absolute value. You shouldn't need to type anything in for any reason, but if you do, there's your keyboard. Go back to the numbers. Functions, so these aren't really things we're going to use a lot, but you may later on. So here's your statistics, distribution graphs, like a dot plot, box plot. We did that in 7th grade, and some other things, logarithms, something you will learn in Algebra 2 or Algebra 3. So these are just some other things you can do. But the nice thing about this is you're going to be able to use this on the test as well. If you want to, you can actually make an account here, but you don't have to. And then you can save everything you've done. Like I have an account going. So here are a lot of things that I have already done. Now, if you wanted, the nice thing about this, you could even make a table. So if I wanted to make a table of values, like if I had an XY table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Okay, and there's those points individually. So I can plot individual points if I want to as a table. So if you were doing a scatter plot or something, which we would have done in 8th grade, or that, yeah, but we didn't get around to it. You could use this for that. You can put it in function notation, which is something we talked about. So you don't have to by any means. You can type in y equals, but those are just some of the things that you can do, and you can just get rid of it by just canceling it out. So there's a lot of different things that you can do here. Again, if you need certain buttons, you want to click on that and you will find most of them down here. So what you can do now is kind of play around with this and just kind of see some of the cool things that you can do. But mainly we're going to use it to graph lines and find those intersection points, and then to graph inequalities. So we will use these buttons as well when that time comes.